At para po himayin ang mga nabanggit at mga hindi natalakay sa SONA, kasama po natin ng political analyst at UP Senior Lecturer na si Richard Heydarian. Sir, magandang gabi and welcome to the program.
Good evening, sir.
Salamat. Ako yata yung kanina, no?
Parang ikaw, sir. Kamukha mo.
medyo sabaw na kanina umaga pa tayo.
Same, sir.
Pansin ko, pati si Ed pagod na yata. Eh.
Hindi, sir. Hanggang bukas pa tayo.
Okay, bukas na
Election.
umaga.
Anyway, sir, well, everyone was waiting for more word on Maharlika kasi Maharlika kasi yun nga ang hinabol for this specifically for this SONA, pero all you had was what? A few lines and parang no big push as would have been expected for the public to come out to support it.
Kaya nga, katulad ng sinabi natin kanina, mukhang calculated move itong speech ni Bongbong Marcos kung saan ina-avoid niya talaga yung mga controversial issues as much as possible, or even if minimension niya yung mga controversial issues, very generic or vague po yung kanyang explanation. So for instance, minention niya yung Maharlika Sovereign Wealth Fund. Alam nga naman hindi niya mention kasi yun yung pinaka-signature policy niya. In fact, the very term Maharlika, no? At saka yung key sponsors ng Maharlika Sovereign Wealth Fund, si Sandro Marcos, presidential cousin and Speaker of the House, Martin Romualdez. So, signature policy niya yan. Alam naman hindi na pag-usapan at all. Pero even if na-mention yung Maharlika Sovereign Wealth Fund in the 2-3 paragraphs na barely nakita natin sa kabuuan ng speech, as I said, wala tayong nakitang depensa or explanation galing sa ating Pangulo with respect dun sa mga kritisismo laban sa Maharlika Sovereign Wealth Fund. Yung concerns na baka ito ay maging katulad nung nangyari sa Malaysia, yung 1MDB Sovereign Wealth Fund nila nagkaroon ng scandal. In fact, si Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim na mag-host kay Bongbong Marcos later this week, no? Siya mismo ang nag-warn sa Pilipinas in an interview earlier this year na ito ay dapat cautionary tale sa Pilipinas. Yung mga ekonomista sa University of the Philippines kung saan ako galing, meron din sila position paper on this na sa kanilang palagay. Despite all the safeguards and revisions na nangyari sa Maharlika Sovereign Wealth Fund, marami pa rin loopholes daw, marami pa rin avenues for potential corruption or anomalies, or at the very least, problematic and failed investments with the wealth of country or whatever wealth na meron tayo. So I think considering yung weight of criticismo laban sa Maharlika Sovereign Wealth Fund, considering yung weight ng Maharlika Sovereign Wealth Fund as a signature policy of President Marcos Jr., parang medyo hapyaw, no? Medyo hilaw yung diskusyon niya sa SONA dun sa Maharlika Sovereign Wealth Fund. So I felt the president was just trying to avoid any kind of controversial discussion, or even if he mentioned it, ayaw niya talaga to go into the detail.
Okay. Prof, puntahan ko yung West Philippine Sea. Isa ito sa mga pinaka-inabangan, at least sa mga na-interview kong lawmakers bago yung SONA. Pero pansin natin, a few lines about it, and then sabi nila Senator Risa, Senator Coco Pimentel, hindi binanggit yung words na West Philippine Sea. So mukhang malamya daw yung stand. Kayo ho ba, anong basa nyo?
Yes, exactly the same. In fact, kung kinumpara mo sa last year, no? Yung sa first State of the Nation address ni Bongbong Marcos Jr., very central yung issue ng West Philippine Sea. In fact, na-mention niya yung arbitration award, na-mention niya yung uncompromising position ng Pilipinas, yung sinabi niya na not even a square inch ng ating teritorya or yung ating karagatan ang i-compromise niya. So, he was very strong on that last year. And then biglang this year, totally, parang wala. In fact, yung isang bagay na hindi pinag-usapan pagdating sa foreign policy ay yung isa pang keyword, no? EDCA, no? Yung Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement. Napakalaking issue yan. No less than former President Duterte, no? Ay na-criticize dito. Nangamba siya na dahil sa EDCA, baka madamay tayo sa giyera ng China at Amerika. Pumunta pa siya sa China the other week para pag-usapan for sure itong EDCA among other things. And for some reason, again, hindi na-mention yan. Hindi rin na-mention yung International Criminal Court investigations, no? Na isang malaking issue pagdating sa ating foreign relations at yung ating mga Western allies, including America, Europa, nire-raise nila yan sa Pilipinas. Hindi yan na-mention. In fact, but yung drug war in general, hindi na-mention. So, kaya nga, pag tinignan mo yung speech, very comprehensive, marami siyang pinag-usapan, including accomplishments niya. And then at the same time, ang dami rin mga omissions or under explanations, which just tells you ayaw talaga ni Bongbong Marcos Jr. na magiging contentious, polarizing, at controversial yung kanyang State of the Nation address. Gusto niya good vibes, gusto niya good branding, gusto niya unity, essentially. So in a sense, it embodies yung priorities at temperament ni Pangulong Marcos Jr.
Pero yung isang na-mention was inflation. And in fact, I'd like to get your opinion in this. In fact, he went as far as saying na that government has proven that it can bring down the prices of, for example, rice, among other things as well that he's mentioned. Karne, gulay, asukal. But how did that strike you when he said that the government has proven it can bring down the price of rice? Do you even agree with that?
Well, I mean, kung base sa ebidensya, kung pumunta ka sa, I don't know, sa Kadiwa, pero kung pumunta ka dyan sa
Kadiwa,
merkado,
Kadiwa.
whether pumunta ka, kitang-kita mo, I mean, the minimum price is here, what, 42 pesos? So it's almost double pa rin dun sa target niya na 20 pesos. Pero si Pangulong Marcos Jr., very clear din siya, no? Bine-blame niya kaagad yung external factors, especially yung conflict sa Ukraine. Kaya nga sinabi niya, yung mga areas na talagang walang control ng government, essentially hindi mo kami masisisi. But to the degree that we can make any changes, we did it. Kaya yung inflation daw, bumababa na from 8% now to around 5%. And yung Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, ang projection is 2.9% by first quarter of next year. So para sa kanya, baka hindi natin nakamit itong 20 pesos kada kilo ng bigas, pero at least bumaba yung presyo ng karamihan ng bumaba yung pagtaas ng presyo, no, yung inflation rate, no. Pero I think dito rin mahalaga yung issue ng wage hike, no. I was expecting more clarification on that kasi mahalaga na bumaba yung pagtaas ng presyo, no. Pero hindi naman bumababa yung presyo mismo, bumababa lang yung pagtaas ng presyo. So dapat humabol din yung kakayahan na pangpili ng taong bayan at diyan papasok yung issue ng wage hike, minimum wage. At again, parang feeling ko medyo kulang yung explanation ni Pangulong Marcos dyan. Which again tells us perhaps about the fact that, again, that's perhaps an issue that he doesn't want to get into kasi baka potentially controversial yan at yung mga employers and businesses ay hindi matuwa if he pushes too much for wage hike.
Prof, kung yung iba nakukulangan, ang sinasabi naman ng ilang mga nakausap natin na mula sa oposisyon, parang may overstatement daw sa achievements. Na kumbaga, inako na niyang achievement even if nagsisimula pa lang. Gaya nung sabi ni Bo kanina, nung sinabi niya na bumaba na yung presyo ng asukal, karne, bigas, sinasabi dito ng ilang mga senador, teka muna, wala pa namang ganon. And then yung 95% employment, they're questioning these numbers. Napansin nyo rin ho ba yun?
Well, ako, I'm gonna give benefit of the doubt to the president. So, i-double check ko, i-triangulate natin yung mga numbers, no? Yung fact checkers, etc. Kanina lang tinitingnan ko ulit yung mga inflation numbers, growth rates, tama naman yung sinabi niya. Pero I think minsan yung isa pang issue is konteksto din. So, for instance, proud si Pangulong Marcos na 7.6% growth tayo, for instance, last year. Pero alam natin, itong great growth na to ay based effect dahil ang baba nung baksak na economy natin nung 2020 to 2021, no? 5 quarters of recession. So medyo normal lang na magkaroon ka na mataas na growth in the coming years dahil nga nagre-recover ka pa lang. So it's not inaccuracy pero incomplete, no, yung picture, no. And then dun sa mga ibang infrastructure projects na minention niya, parang wait lang. Di ba panahon ni Digong pa yan na-discuss or panahon pa ni Aquino pa na-negotiate yung mga yan? So again, I think there's also a question of lack of contextualization. But then again, this is SONA, 1 hour more or less, at gusto niya ipagmalaki yung kanyang accomplishment. So I'm sure he's not in the mood to highlight na inherit lang niya, yung nakuha niya sa iba. But I think sana mas ginawa ni Pangulong Marcos dito is, as much as may karapatan siya na emphasize yung kanyang accomplishment, I think mahalaga din para sa kanya na maging tapat sa taong bayan dun sa mga krisis na meron tayo. Whether ito yung sa sektor ng edukasyon, kung saan base sa mga reports ng World Bank, lampas sa 90% ng mga pupils natin may problema minsan sa, functional literacy, for instance. Or pagdating sa ekonomiya natin, actually nagsuslow down na yung growth this year and that could create some problems in terms of employment generation. And most importantly para sa akin, yung fiscal situation natin. Kasi kung hindi tayo magkaroon ng pension reform, especially dun sa military uniform personnel, magkakaroon tayo ng fiscal crisis, no, in the coming years. In fact, si Pangulong Marcos mismo ang umamin na to few days ago. Pero kanina sa SONA, parang wala palang issue eh. Pwede man pala isolve yan without anyone being affected. And I'm not sure how you can do that because kailangan rationalization ng pension ay isang malaking at mahirap at komplikadong issue. So, minsan kailangan maging tapat ka sa taong bayan kung may problema naman talaga tayo. So, as much as he has to talk about glass half full, minsan okay lang naman na maging honest tayo, sabihin natin may problema dito, kaya kailangan ko yung tulong nyo. Let's do this together. In fact, pansin nyo, yun yung ginagawa nila Aquino at Duterte dati, di ba? Sa Aquino, parating niya sinasabi, ito yung na-inherit ko, napaka-corrupt na sistema, tulungan niyo ako para labanan natin ang corruption, no? Daan matuwid. Si Digong naman, si Pangulong Duterte, parating niya sinasabi, napakalaki yung problema ko pagdating sa droga, tulungan niyo ako para i-solve yan. So, that strategy actually can work. So, ang advice ko kay Pangulong Marcos Jr. tingnan mo rin ginagawa ng mga dating administration because they were able to actually get a lot of public support and sympathy nung naging tapat sila dun sa mga problema na meron tayo. Hindi naman kailangan na purong flowery and rose-tinted. Kasi alam naman natin, kasi kaya biro ko kanina, parang pag pinakinggan ko yung speech, parang ganda pala ng Pilipinas, parang wala tayong problema, di ba? Love the Philippines, kumbaga. Pero alam naman natin, ang katotohanan ay mixed at least, no? To put it nicely. So, dapat yung SONA ay isang plataforma kung saan tumatawag ka sa mga tao na tulungan ka bilang presidente because we can only solve these problems if we support the president and we work together. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help. It actually works politically as we saw with President Duterte during pandemic.
Okay, maraming salamat, Professor Richard Heydarian. Pahinga na po.
Good evening, sir.
Evening, sir.
See you later. God bless.
Mga kapatid, Mean Los Baños po, huwag magpahuli sa mga balita at impormasyong dapat ninyong malaman. Para sa mas malawak na balitaan at diskusyon, mag-subscribe at mag-follow sa News 5 social media pages.